Hey everyone, the small engine mechanic here. Today, we are going to be working on a Honda HRR216 self-propelled push mower. So, let's get started. First, we're going to use a 10mm socket and remove the starter. Sometimes, the stud will spin instead of the nut. So we'll deal with that in a bit. Remove the starter, blower housing, and fuel tank. Unplug the spark plug. And remove the spark plug. Always inspect the tip. It can tell you a lot about the engine's performance. Next, lift the front of the mower with a jack stand. It will prevent the oil from pouring out the front when removing the valve cover. Using the 10mm socket, remove the 4 screws. You will need a flat scraper bar and hammer to remove the valve cover. You will be adjusting the valves. By turning the flywheel in the same direction of the engine starting direction, you will align the valves. Here, the exhaust valve is going in. And now the intake valve is going in. When the intake valve comes back out, you can insert a small extension in the spark plug hole and continue to rotate the engine until the extension stops moving outward. The engine will be at the top dead center now, and ready to check and/or adjust the valves. This engine clearance is 6 thousandths on the intake and 8 thousandths on the exhaust, plus or minus 2 thousandths of an inch. The intake is way too loose. And the exhaust is way too loose. Now, you could either adjust the valves the old school way, or you could use this handy tool for under $10. Link in the description below. You simply put the tool on the nuts and loosen the big nut. Insert the feeler gauge and tighten the smaller handle until resistance is felt on the gauge. Then, tighten the larger handle. Remove the tool and recheck. If good, move to the exhaust side and repeat the process. This is a really neat tool. Link in the description below. Make sure you remove as much of the old sealant as you can from the engine and valve cover. Apply a small amount of sealant to the valve cover and reinstall. I cannot stress the importance of hand starting these screws. Once started, run them all down till they are tight. If it's your first time, then use a ratchet, not a screw gun. Now, we're going to install a new spark plug. This engine calls for the BPR4ES. Use hand tools here, not an impact. Plug the spark plug back up. Now, for this pesky stud. Grab the backside with some Niplex pliers and use a screw gun to remove the nut. Hand start the stud back into the engine and tighten it with a 9mm just till it stops. Then replace the blower housing and fuel tank. Then the starter and the 3 nuts. Remove the jack stand. I'm checking the air filter for now. I will be replacing it with an actual Honda filter. Check the fuel level. And as always, check the oil. going to start it up and let the oil get hot so we can change it. Be right back. Alright, here we go. I'm using a siphon pump because it is fast. If you don't have one, you can simply turn the mower on its side. For this next step, make sure the oil dipstick is tight as well as the gas cap. Being on the same side and the fuel and carburetor, lift the mower on its side. Now we have access to the blades and belt. But number one rule when working under a mower is to unplug the spark plug. Because it can still start like those old school plain engines. Using a small impact, remove the two blade bolts, not the one in the middle. Make sure you inspect the blades for damage. These look really good. Time to sharpen them. It never ceases to amaze me how many people will spend hundreds to thousands of dollars for mowers, then try to use a grinder to sharpen their blades. If you don't balance them, you could be causing harm to your engine seal, crankshaft, blade clutch, which all cost a lot more than having a blade sharpened. Spend the extra $7 to $10 and have your blades sharpened and balanced. Gotta love a balanced blade. Reinstall the blades. Remove and hidden grass and dirt. Rotate engine back to its wheels. Plug the spark plug back up. Fill the oil to the correct level. Check and double check the level. And nope, I didn't forget. Honda air filter. So, let's start this up and test the drive. Well, looks like it's sounding and running perfectly. So that can mean only one thing. It looks like another one is good to go.